Assalamu alaikum students, welcome to the fourth lecture. Today we are going to start off with a new chapter which is called Welcome to the Big Apple. So let's get started. As I've already told you that a conversation is a talk between two people, two or more people. So as you can see that there's a conversation that is going on between three characters. These are the characters. The people who say things, who conversate, are called the characters. So there are three characters in this conversation. So let's start today's lecture. Welcome to the Big Apple. So as you see, this is an exclamation point. This is a exclamation point. When do we use exclamation point? We use exclamation point whenever we have to express feelings or emotions, or when we have to express ourselves. It can be happy emotions, it can be sad emotions, it can be something, when you have to say something very loud. So these are phrases which show strong emotions and feelings. So whenever we say write down phrases that express strong feelings or emotions, then we use an exclamation point. We do not use a full stop. So this is welcome to the Big Apple. So this is a expression which is very happy expression. So that's why we have used a exclamation point. So whenever you have to express a strong feeling or emotion, you will always use the exclamation point. You won't use a full stop. So now let's get started. Listen and read, then say wow. So you see exclamation point, there's exclamation point. That's the Statue of Liberty. This is a um, this is a contraction. This is we have used an apostrophe. Apostrophe is a comma which is placed up there. It's not placed in down, or it's not placed at the end or at the start. It's placed in place of the missing word. This is an apostrophe. This is a contraction. Contraction means when you have shortened the word, when there's a huge word but you have shortened it and put an apostrophe instead of it. For example, this is that is short for that is. The word that is missing is I. We have placed an apostrophe in place of I. So this is a contraction. So that's the Statue of Liberty. I can't believe we are actually here in New York City. Can't is another contraction which is short form for cannot. Now this girl is saying that wow, this is a dialogue. Dialogue is a conversation that is going on between people. Now she's saying that, oh my god, I love wow, look at this is the Statue of Liberty. It is in America, in New York. So New York is a city of America, and she's saying that wow, look at the Statue of Liberty. Now she says, I know. Now full stop. It's amazing. Are you going to take a picture, Harley? So now can you see the sentence structure, how the sentence is formed? You can see that I know. She says I know. It's amazing. So she says I know, full stop. This is not an expression. She says I know, it's amazing. And then this is a full stop, then this is contraction. This is it is, short form for it is. Then are you going to take a picture, Harley? She's asking this boy that are you going to take a picture. So now you see that whenever we have to construct a sentence, we have to put the helping verb at the beginning of the sentence, as you can see in this picture. Are you going to take a picture, Harley? So now we have ended out a sentence with a question mark. I sure am. You two stand over there while I take a picture of you both. Say cheese. So now this is again an expression. Say cheese whenever a person says, when a person clicks a photo, the cameraman says say cheese. So that's an expression that is something excited, that shows excitement. So we use an exclamation point. Now, I'm really enjoying this trip. Where are you going to go next summer, Helen? So now she's asking her that I'm short form I am really enjoying this trip. Now full stop. Now the sentence has ended, so we are going to put a full stop. Where are you going to go next summer, Helen? We have to put a comma, and then, because comma means that we have to pause the sentence, and then we have to write the next um, uh, sentence, or the remaining phrase. So where are you going to go next summer, Helen? Now she's asking, and at the end of the day it's a question mark. I'm going to visit Japan. The Japanese gardens are absolutely gorgeous. I hope to go shopping in some malls in Tokyo. We will spend a week in Japan. So now I am short for I am. She says I'm going to visit Japan. Now you see that the first word of this word Japan is capital. Japan is capital. So this means that Japan is a proper noun. So whenever there is a proper noun in a sentence, proper nouns are the names of special places or countries or cities or things or animals or places and everything. So whenever there is a proper noun, the name of a person, proper person, for example, then we have to use capital letters in the sentence. Now for example, if I say that the girl is going there, then the girl is a noun. Girl is a noun, so I'm not going to make it a capital letter. But when I say Sarah is going there, then I'm going to write the Sarah, because Sarah is a proper noun, so I'm going to use capital letter. The Japanese garden. Now see, Japanese is also a language, it's also a proper noun. Gardens are absolutely gorgeous. I hope to go shopping in some malls in Tokyo. Tokyo is a city in Japan. We will spend a week in Japan. Okay, how about you, Stella? Are you still going to Australia next summer? So he's asking us question. How about you, Stella? Now, how about you? Then there's a comma and there's Stella. Now he's asked the question, and then there's a comma, there's a pause, and then he says his name, Stella. Are you still going to Australia next summer? So this is again a question. So she says yes. Now whenever you are going to answer the question about yes or no, when there's an answer, when there's a question which has answer as in yes and no, then first of all you are going to write yes comma then the remaining sentence, or no comma then the remaining sentence. So now he is asking her that, okay, are you still going to Australia next summer? Australia again is with capital letter because it's a proper noun, and the helping verb is at the beginning of the sentence. Are, it is starting with are. So in the end there's a question. Yes comma yes. First of all, when you are answering a question, you are going to write yes or no, and then you have to put a comma. Yes, we are still going next summer, full stop. We are is short form we are. So yes comma we are still going next summer. This is the proper way of writing down an answer. First you are going to say yes or no, then the comma, then the remaining answer. I want to see the kangaroos. Full stop. I can't wait. I'm going to take lots of pictures to bring back for you all to see. So now can't is short for cannot. I'm short for I am. So she says I'm going to take a lot of pictures to bring back for you all to see. Pictures is a plural. This is when there's a singular person, then we are going to add, we are not going to add s or es. But when there are more than one thing, then we are going to add s or es. So picture or pictures, we have added a s. So this is a plural. It sounds like it's going to be a nice trip. So he says, look, we are getting closer to the Statue of Liberty. I can't believe it. So now this is an expression, then there's a question mark, so then there's an exclamation point. It sounds like it's going to be a nice trip, full stop. So now it's short for it is. Look is an expression, so we have put a exclamation point. Look, we are getting closer to the Statue of Liberty. I can't believe it! Exclamation point. So exclamation point is used when there's a lot of emotions and expression, when there are a lot of expressions or emotions to show. Okay, so now there's a question which is written. Do you know what the Big Apple refers to? Because we have read the whole conversation, but there's no discussion about the Big Apple. So what is Big Apple? Big Apple is basically the nickname of the New York City. The New York City in which Statue of Liberty is present. It is also referred as Big Apple. Its nickname is Big Apple. So basically they are addressing New York. The Big Apple means this is an it's a nickname for New York City. So what is Big Apple? Apple is basically nickname for New York City. Okay, so students, now I have told you already that we can end our sentences with different punctuation marks. One of them is a full stop or a period, which looks like this, and one of them is an exclamation point, one of them is a question mark. Punctuation marks, they are very very important help because they help other people to understand our writing, like what do we want to say or what do we want to convey. If we are ending a sentence with a full stop, that has a different meaning. But if we are ending a phrase with a exclamation point, where that's a different meaning. And if we are ending a sentence with a question mark, then that has a different meaning. So it conveys something, and these are very important. You have to really care. You have to really work. You have to on the punctuation marks, how you end the sentence. For example, if you are asking somebody that I am going, should I go there, and you put a full stop, that is not a question. Basically you are asking a question, but that's not a question, because a question always ends up with a question mark. So the punctuation marks are very important for us to convey what we want to say. For example, the car is red, full stop, which means that this is a sentence. You're just telling somebody that the car is red. It's not a question. You're conveying some information. You're saying that this is the end of the sentence. Like, oh, I'm going there. You're just informing somebody. So the car is red, full stop. Is the inside red? Now there's a question mark, which means you're asking something. You want to, when you're asking somebody something, then you put a question mark. When you're telling somebody something, then you put a full stop, which means that it's a question mark. Okay, this is a question. You're asking somebody something. Okay, is the car red from the inside? From inside? So this is a question mark. You're asking something. So whenever you will use a sentence where you have to ask somebody something, when somebody is asking something from someone, then you have to use a question mark. You don't have to use the full stop. This is very important. You have to take care of the punctuation marks. Wow, that car goes really fast. Now this is ending up with a exclamation point, because you are expressing yourself. You're showing some sort of emotions. You're showing excitement. So this is ending up with a exclamation point. So this is you're not using a full stop or question mark. You're using exclamation point, because you're expressing yourself. You're using your energy. Wow, that car goes really fast. So this is the difference between the full stop, a question mark, and exclamation point, which we have already discussed. It needs to end up with the punctuation mark every complete sentence. There's a difference between a phrase and a sentence, but a sentence which conveys some information has always have to end up with a punctuation mark. It can be a full stop, a period, a exclamation point, or a question mark. So I have given you some examples. I hope that you have understood. And also I have told you about contractions. I've already told you that contractions um, means that when we shorten some word and we put an apostrophe in it, so that is called contraction. So for example, let's just discuss contractions. Contractions basically means that when we combine two words together and we form one word. Okay, for example, let's just say I plus M. These are two words. When we are going to combine them, it will become I. So this is a contraction. We have contracted the word. So in English we use contraction sometimes when we when we combine two words together and we form one word out of them. So we use a contraction, and what we do is we skip one word. For example, a is missing from this word, and we put a apostrophe. This is called an apostrophe instead of that word. For example, can plus not is equals to cannot. Will um, we plus will is equals to will. She plus will is equals to she'll. For example, um, does plus not becomes does, doesn't. Would plus not is equals to wouldn't. Now, for example, I plus have is equals to I've. Okay, I I plus would will become I'd. So now these are some examples of contractions. Contractions means when we combine two words together and make a short word out of them. So what we use is we use a apostrophe instead of the missing word. So for example, I plus m becomes I'm, can plus not becomes can't, we plus will becomes will, she plus will becomes she'll, does plus not becomes doesn't, would plus not becomes wouldn't, I plus have is equals to I plus would is equals to I'd. So there are a lot of various contractions in grammar which you will learn with as you grow up. So there are a lot of other examples as well. So basically contractions are when we combine two words to make a short word out of them. So students, this is all for today. We have learned about the some punctuation marks and contractions, and I hope that you have understood them, and I hope that you're going to revise them at your home. And when we are going to come back, I'm going to provide worksheets which you, after doing lecture, you have to do it in your you have to do it and you have to submit to the school. And in the next lecture we are going to discuss some different grammar. Okay, so I also want to tell you children that you should revise basic parts of speech. There are basic 8 parts of speech: noun, verbs, and adverbs. Noun, verbs, noun, verbs, adjectives, and verbs. So we are going to discuss them in the next lecture as well. But you have to revise the basic parts of speech, which are noun, verb, adjectives, and we are going to discuss other parts of speech in the coming lectures. So for now, I'm just going to finish it up here. I'm going to wrap it up here, and I'm going to give you some exercises which you are going to do at your home, and you're going to give it to me, and I'm going to check it, and I'm going to give it back to you. So till then, take care, and I'm going to see you in the next lecture. Allah Hafiz.